Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. I've got a special, I'm not going to say order because they really weren't ordered. So these were sent to me in Happy Mail. You probably saw it about a week ago and there was no name on the box from Amazon and there was no name inside. I had no idea where they came from. Well, then a few days later, it was from my mom. So my mom sent me these. These are bookends. They're huge. They hold almost 23 ounces a piece. These are made by Resin. So I was like, wow, my mom sent me Happy Mail. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to make these for her. And she is like 100% Italian pretty much. And she likes to cook. She used to cater. And she makes the best in the world Italian biscotti, almond biscotti. Oh my gosh. Like that's the one thing that better be in her house every time that I come there because I'm taking them home with me. But I had so many ideas for these and they didn't work. Like I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought some utensils, these, thinking they would fit in. They don't fit in. They're too big. I couldn't find any wooden ones that would fit in here. And then a friend of mine, Kimberly, had the idea of putting her favorite recipe in there. And I'm like, that's a great idea. I'll put the recipe in there, but it's going to be so tiny that I didn't like that either. So I'm putting Rotini in. Being Italian, I'm just going to, I got the tricolor kind. These, the red, the white, and the green. And I'm hoping that they don't float. I'm not sure. So I was gonna do this in deep pour resin and just do it all in one go. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do it in layers because I don't know how this Rotini is going to act in here. Of course, excuse me, I need to put in crushed crystal, I think. Why not? Everybody, I mean, a lot of people don't like that I put it in everything, but if you think about it, all these pieces go to one person. They're not all for one person. So each person gets a little bit of my signature crushed crystal. So that's the way I'm looking at it. And everybody loves sparkle, so why not put it in everything? So I'm going to mix up, I don't know what I'm gonna mix up. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna mix up my fast cure and we're gonna do this quickly and in layers, just like I do the clocks and things like that that have to go real deep. These are really deep. I don't know, you don't necessarily have to fill up the whole thing. And I'm not sure if I'm going to write anything on the fronts. I'm just going to play it by ear and let's get started. I guess I mixed a ton of bubbles into that resin because I had to stand there the whole time and watch it because it was going to bubble over. So I mixed up 10 ounces and I'm thinking 5 ounces in each one maybe. Try to do this equally. It's a little bit more. Yeah, that's about right. 5 ounces. Decent depth for that. And then I'm going to put the Rotini in and mix it in there just to coat it, I guess. Hopefully that doesn't produce bubbles. But the crushed crystal that I did put in, yes, it's in here, will hide bubbles. So that's always a good thing. That crushed crystal, I think that's its job. That's why it was created, is to save us from bubbles. All right, I'm going to just, I don't want like a whole bunch of one color and not the other. That's the thing I'm worried about. See, like I grabbed a handful and I got 3 red. I should have had these separated. I'm just going to, I guess we're going to get mostly tan. but I want those colors. I'm actually interested more to see if it's going to float or if it's going to sink. So let's get this and mix them in. And if it sinks, which I think it will, yeah, there's a lot of bubbles coming out of them, then you could probably do this in one pour with your deep pour. The other thing about the deep pour I was worried about is if I put crushed crystal in, deep pour is kind of like water, and I did not want my crushed crystal to all float to the bottom and be like this wall of crushed crystal behind there. I'm just gonna put as many in as I possibly can, I think, and just keep mixing it around. And then probably in about, I guess I could heat it up with my heat mat quickly, but once you do that, you have to do it every 20 minutes. You'll have to put a layer in every 20 minutes because it's going to be so hot. The bottom layer is going to actually cure the next layer up, and so on and so forth. If I don't turn the heat mat on, it'll probably be a couple hours. So I don't want to wait a couple hours. I'm going to turn my heat mat on. I'm just going to turn it on low for like 15 minutes and come and check it. It doesn't usually take very long because this is the fast cure. I'm just gonna keep putting some in here. Even if they stick out, the next layer is going to cover that. Let's just hope I have enough for both of these, or I'll be making a quick run to the store between layers. I mean, who wouldn't think that a pound of pasta wouldn't be enough for some bookends? I mean, you could really go in any direction with these things, whatever the theme would be. Kind of like that sewing clock I did for my mom. I just bought a whole bunch of themed stuff and put it in the clock, and it came out really cute. Same thing for this. You just need to find little stuff. Like I couldn't find what I wanted little enough, but I think this is going to be perfect. The Rotini, I think that's all it's going to need. I don't think it's going to need anything else. Like I said, I might put some words on the front. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's good for now. I'm going to clean out my cup, turn the heat mat on, and see how long it takes. I had the heat mat on low for 30 minutes, and it's nice and tacky. Well, now that I mixed it, it's past tacky, but that's okay. And I didn't even put crushed crystal. I didn't run it through the vacuum chamber because this is such a thick layer. You're not going to see anything that would be wrong as far as bubbles or anything like that. So I mixed up 8 ounces this time. I'm going to do 4 and 4. And the heat from here generating, oh, that was perfectly 4. The heat from the bottom layer is going to continually cure this next layer, and so on and so forth as we move up the layers in here. So it's going to be a quick project as far as timing. This is not going to take days and days and days. It's usually a couple of hours and you're done, especially if you use the heat mat for that first layer. So I'm just going to put that down and do the same thing. I'm going to grab handfuls. Gosh, I hope I have enough. And it's not really, oh yeah, there's, it's not really a big deal. Any order at this point, because you're really not going to see them. You're only going to see these from the side. You would not see any bubbles. You would not see any crushed crystal at this point. All that would be in the front layer. So don't waste your crushed crystal. And if you put too much in like I did, it's not a big deal. It's going to be covered with the next layer. So just be careful on your last layer of resin how much Rotini you're going to put in. Maybe I'll put the Rotini in next, first, and then pour my resin over it. So the next layer, I'm going to probably need more than the 4. Maybe I'll use my epoxy resin. I can pour it a little deeper. So I think I'm going to do that. You can use different kinds of resins on one project, you guys. It does not make a difference. I know a lot of the new people probably don't know that. I mean, you can combine 4-hour fast cure and then cure it and then use epoxy and then cure it and do a top coat of UV resin and cure it. It's not a big deal. Okay, that's it for now. I'm not going to turn the heat mat on because the bottom is really hot. It's curing, so that's going to cure that. I'll probably do the next layer in about 30 more minutes. It's been another 30 minutes and this is solid. So yeah, the bottom layer is curing the middle layer and this middle layer is going to cure the top layer. We are on the last layer and I don't know if I have enough Rotini. I don't think I'm going to. I do not. So we're going to fill it the best that we can. And we'll have a little bit of clear resin pooling on the back, I guess. Or I could just fill it just past these and then back coat it to get rid of that edge. I don't know. We're going to see. Again, no vacuum chamber, no crushed crystal, no nothing but the Rotini. I'm just going to pour it in on top this time. Well, I thought I was going to have enough. I had no idea that 1 pound of Rotini would not be enough for these. So now you know. It's not going to be too bad. I'm just going to go just past it because I don't want that big thick layer of clear resin. And I don't really want a color in the back because you will see that from the side as well. So we're just going to go, I'm going to lay them down flat and then pour just past the last noodle. Just get these all down. And then this is the epoxy. This is not the fast cure. So this is probably not going to be a 30-minute wait. This will probably be a little longer. I mixed up 16 ounces this round. And I'll probably use most of it. Just making sure they stay under. Little noodles sticking out. Just a little bit more in each one. It's close. I almost got it to the top. Almost. And I used all 16 ounces, so that's good. And they are equally poured. I literally have enough for, like, I don't know, maybe one of my little flower molds. We'll see what I'm going to do with it. So I guessed pretty good today. We'll see how long this takes. There will be some bubbles now but they should surface hopefully in time. Although if they don't, they're in the back. It's not going to be a big deal. And I will have to get my thinking cap on and see what I'm going to do to the front. I'm just trying to make sure everything's under. These are all bubbles. See, they just keep popping out for some reason. But they're not floating or anything, so you don't have to worry about them floating, which is good to know. And bubbles are going to be popping out for a while, so I definitely don't want the heat mat on because I don't want those bubbles on the back like that. I will do something with the extra and see you in a sec. This cured really quickly as well, probably been 45 minutes, and I was popping bubbles most of the time, but then I walked away to make dinner, and these bubbles cured in the back, and I don't want them there. So it is cured. It's, you know, it's spongy. It's not hard cured. So I mixed up some 4-hour fast cure, and I put some crushed crystal in the back, and I put it through the vacuum chamber. And all I'm going to do is put a really thin layer and fill in those bubbles. So you kind of have to work it into them so they go away. Just take something sharp and press your new resin into the old resin where the bubbles are, and it will release the air pocket that's in there and fill it up with the new resin. Now the crushed crystal will help if I can't get them all done, but I've never had a problem trying to fill in a bubble like this before. Just take your time because you have, well, don't take too much time because this layer is now going to cure this layer. But that's all I'm going to do to fix that. And I wasn't sure if you all knew that you could do that, so that's why I came back. Otherwise, I was just going to do it and be done. And I'm just putting a really, really thin layer just to do that because now the bubbles from the Rotini can't come through anymore, and we won't have any more bubbles on the back here. So I'm just gonna stick this scribe, and you can kind of see them where they're at. See, that one just filled in, and there is air in those bubbles, which is what you're trying to release when you push your resin down into them. Sometimes you have to do it a couple times, and you'll see the air bubble come out. And if you can't, then just kind of rip it open. And the corners sometimes will go down because it's curing too fast. So I'm kind of glad I'm doing this because this corner was indented. I'm just going to run my scribe around all these edges. Make sure some resin gets down in the corners so we have a nice square corner and not a rounded corner. And this could possibly cure just as fast, I'm not sure. I only mixed up, I think I already told you, but I mixed up 3 ounces, so 1.5 ounces, probably less than that because I'm pretty sure I'll have a little extra. I'm only using as much as I need. I don't want any more. I mean, I guess I could put it in there now that I've already mixed it, but this one, again, push it down in those corners. It's really tacky in the corners. It's not fully cured like the middle is. And then the same in this corner because, like I said, it's curing faster than it normally should because of the layers below it. And I don't see, oh, there's one. I only see the one bubble to fill in. And that one's filled up. I don't see any more. So instead of just making a bunch of extras, I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in the back. And then this will cure from the layer right below it. And we will have this project done in a matter of a couple of hours. Hopefully, see the corner? That corner went down too. I guess I need to check this one. So push your resin down in those corners, otherwise you're going to have a indented corner. All right. That is it. Now for the final cure that I didn't realize I was going to have to do. You just change and adjust as you go. They're ready, and as you can see, I got one out because I was really, really nervous. How the heck am I going to get this out? And I figured out an easy way, but before that, let's look at the extras. I just made one of my little flowers. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I got some bubbles on the edges. That doesn't usually happen. And then I made 4 little tiny turtles. Aren't they cute? I'll make a little pendant out of them. This was the Mermaid by Saya. It's like a really pretty pastel color. So I'm just gonna pull these out, set it aside, and show you how I got it out of the mold. So all I did was take my alcohol and I squirted down each edge because this is a very heavy duty mold. There's no way you're going to roll this back. It's just not going to happen. So I was like, what in the world am I going to do to get it out? So I just sprayed the alcohol in, moved it around. You could see it on the sides moving around. And then all I did was pop it right out, and it came right out. Of course, it's stuck right there. There we go. Easy. And this is the top. Look at that. Here are the 2. And I think I'm going to top coat because it's not a perfect finish. What do you think? You can see all the sparkle in there. Here's the back. It's much more sparkly in the back. Too much sparkle. And then here's a side view. What is that? Oh, I just need to trim that. So you can see that final little layer of clear that is on there. So I do need to trim that off. Not sure if I'm gonna write anything on them, but maybe I'll even edge it in gold or something. Maybe silver. Her house is blues and light colors, shabby chic colors. So maybe a silver color. Let me think about what I'm going to do to this, and then I'll bring you back. I decided to take the chrome marker and I went around the edge with the silver. That looks pretty good. Gold probably would have looked good too, but I know there's not gold in her house. And then I put on my Cricut Donna's Kitchen. I almost put Grandma's Kitchen in, but my mom doesn't look like a grandma. She looks really young, even though she's a great grandma. So I decided to put her name on it instead. So this is the kitchen word. And if they go that way, this one's gonna go down here. Hopefully I will get it decently straight, fairly centered. Because I know she said she could use them for her cookbooks. So this will be cute in her kitchen or wherever she stores her cookbooks. I also took my deburring tool and I went around that back edge. Just got all that off, so it looks really good now. Now this one, and then I'm gonna mix up some tabletop resin and coat the top to seal in everything. Seal in the sticker, or the decal, seal in the paint, excuse me, the marker. There we go. That just jazzed it right up. I love it. Okay. Time to get some resin out. Before I start that, I got some Happy Mail today from Fanny again, and she sent me this little mold, and it's a little bear. It is so cute. We're gonna have to pour this soon. It's kind of like the same as my little dogs. It's really, really flexible, and it looks like it's partially shiny. It's not quite matte, but it's not like super shiny. So this is like a little grizzly bear. And I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Fanny. It is adorable. You know I love doing characters. So I will definitely be doing that one soon. And ready to pour? Let's get going. So this is my tabletop. And when you hand stir it, you end up with a ton of bubbles. So we're going to have to torch them all out. So I'm just going to coax this to the edges. Hope it doesn't go over because I didn't tape anything. I hope they're level because I completely forgot to check and now it's a little too late. Maybe I'll check the second one. I got that cute little level from Little Windows she sent to me. So I'm excited to have something small that can sit right here on my table when I need it. So let me just get this to the edges. I'm going to torch these bubbles out. I can't imagine why they wouldn't be level, but you just never know. Okay, that's torched and good. It was level. I just dropped a piece of something in there. Let me get that out. I'm just gonna keep hitting it with the torch 1 or 2 more times. That probably took 1 ounce. I mixed up 2 ounces. I have 1 left, so I'll do something with it. But yeah, let me just keep popping bubbles, which that one's pretty much done. It looks like it's not going to drip, thank God. This should gel up really quickly being tabletop resin. And let me pour some more extras and we'll see you for the final result. It's the next day and everything is cured, but I got a message from Fanny asking if I got the mold. This one that I thought was a bear, it's a fat cat. I was like, no, it's not. It's a bear, but she sent me the picture. It is definitely a cat. I can now see the ears and how it can be a cat. So that was pretty funny because I was kind of excited to do the little bear, but the cat is going to be adorable too. Anyway, we'll get to that another day. These are cured and beautiful. Everything is sealed in. The pen is sealed in. No bubbles, no drips. Everything came out great. Here are the extras that I finished. So I fixed the tips of those two with UV resin. They were these two here. So I just built a little point with my UV resin, like a drop, I cured it, and then I put another drop and I cured it. It took like 3 drops and 3 cures on each petal. So then it was clear. So I just took a blue paint pen and just went around the edges and put a magnet on the back. And then for the little turtle pendants, I just glued on the flat back bails. So those will go out in some freebies. And then with the rest of the tabletop, I made 4 bear magnets, drew their little faces on. This is some new chameleon powders I just received. I ordered from Amazon and it comes in this huge package. And these are by Saya. And 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 16 colors. So I used 3 in the box, and then I used the one I used in those, but I painted it on, and it came out like this with the black backing. So you can get this color, which is an opal color, if you mix it in your resin, or this color if you fill it with black. I'm sure it would be another color if you fill it with white or blue or whatever. So those chameleon powders are magical. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. I'm going to get you some pictures. Stick around for those and come up with a plan for tomorrow. You guys have a blessed day. I'll see you then. Bye, everyone.